big. That's right. Fail big. You only live once, so do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline and consistency every day, not just on Tuesday and miss a few days. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. You've heard the saying, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works.
Top of the afternoon, top of the Saturday afternoon, y'all. It's your boy B Jizzle with the Big 3 here on our Week 12 pregame show. We got a really important game coming up. And if you remember the first time we played the Eagles to kick off the season, somebody was getting spit on. And we got a little clip we're going to go to here. We're going to check out real quick. But let's get to the panel real quick. That's my guy, Bob, the Cannabis Cowboy up there in Colorado. Good? And that's my girl, Kales, with the Intels right there. How we doing today, Kales?
Pretty good. Cabin fever is, I don't like it.
It's real.
Yeah. Well, it was real when Jalen Carter spit on Dak Prescott, and he was asked recently in the media, what would it be like facing him again? So let's just listen in.
Fast. What do you think Jalen Carter is going to be around for this game? What kind of impact do you think he has for that defense?
A huge impact. Obviously, it starts right there with him in the middle. He's the main reason why they don't feel like they have to blitz. If they can get pressure with just 4 guys, hell of a player. We're fortunate in the first game to obviously not go against him, but I know he'll be ready to go and fired up for this one. So excited for it and fast.
Excited for it. Oh, we got to see this Philadelphia Eagles team, Bob, with this defense and Jalen Carter. I mean, a lot of things have changed since the first game of the season. How are you feeling about Jalen Carter coming back to AT&T Stadium with this defense that seems to be carrying the bird brains?
I don't know. This particular game, I think we're a lot more evenly matched up than we were the first time around. I don't really 100% count the defensive line in that yet, although we got much better on the defensive line. This is going to be the test of whether we're good in that position, because they're going to run, and we're going to have to worry about their quarterback running on us, which the reason why they won that game the first week was because of their quarterback, and we know this. So if we don't have somebody to be able to spy him or stop him, it might be a repeat of that. But I just think we have the weapons right now to stay in the game. And the defense, like we've been saying all year, if we just get good, if we just get average, which we are right now, we can still do some amazing things with the offense that we have, man. And I plan on seeing a pretty good game, if I'm being honest. I was probably freaked out about this when you asked about it in the beginning of the season, but right now I feel better about it.
Yeah. Kales, if Saquon Barkley wasn't so boring to watch on an interview, I probably would have clipped his interview, because he said he don't understand why the Jets traded Quentin Williams. Anyway, it sounds like he might be a little worried. I mean, is this new revamped defense going to try to hold this tandem between Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts at home? You think we can hold them under 100 yards on this newly revamped defense?
Oh, yeah, because a lot of teams that they have matched up with after us has basically contained really the entire O-line.
Yeah, Saquon's numbers are down this year.
Yeah.
Saquon's numbers are down. Definitely. In his first game, they had a total of 122 yards, right? 60 and 62, but they did have 3 touchdowns. So we're going to get more into that with the meat of it. But my girl Kels with the intels, it was some things happening today. We had somebody get released today, Kels. What's the intel on our guy, Kaiir Elam?
Okay, so we knew that there was going to be some roster moves because they are going to keep Marshawn Nealon as an active 53-man
Okay.
spot. The thing is he's not going to be DE1. He will drop down to DE3. So you're going to have Donovan Ezaraku, and I'm having a major brain fart on the other defensive end. But anyway, so that's
Sam Williams.
There we go. So it's going to be those, and Dante Fowler. So
yeah, that was a big one for me. I was like, wow, but I guess in terms of production, it all made sense.
Yeah, so he will be because this is his second year and he has 2 more years on his contract. That contract will still be fulfilled to whatever Marshawn Nealon was making. At the end of his 4-year rookie deal, he will be re-signed as a practice squad member. With the elevations voided. So he will still get practice squad money, I think up to 3 years or something like that, what they're planning on doing. So he will still be and if we go into post game, he will get that post game money as well if we go into playoff runs. So that's a little bit of that. So this is how it worked. Kaiir Elam, who I had big hopes for, I did, from what I've seen based off of training camp and what he did and during the preseason. Had real hope for him. He's the type of corner that Flus wanted. He is a zone cornerback. So I do wish him well. So he has been waived, not released. He can be signed back on the practice squad in 24 hours after being cleared for the waiver wire. Something similar to with what happened with Damone Clark. We was hoping that we could get him once the 24-hour waiver wire period was done, but the Houston Texans poached and picked him up.
I seen that. I seen that.
So in order for that move to happen and to clear a roster spot, we have signed our running back Malik Davis to the active 53-man roster.
There's a familiar name.
Yeah, because Davis is now out of practice squad elevations.
So Malik Davis, that just kind of raises a question on running back. I mean, any news on Jaden Blue? Because now it looks like that depth chart is currently. I mean, I seen a little bit more Hunter Lipke fullback action the last game. Is Blue still trending?
He was actually playing in the tight end position.
Yeah,
that nobody done.
Was he?
He took Schoonmaker's spot, man.
Even though he was in the backfield, he was playing as a tight end.
It's going to happen again this week too.
Yes.
So who is really RB2? Is
Malik
that Jaden Blue?
Malik
Davis. So this is kind of just business as usual for the Cowboys because between the practice squad, the active roster, the inactive, and all of that other stuff, they like to play musical chairs. And like you said, he was released, not cut. He was released and can be re-signed on the practice squad in the next 24 hours. So make sure you know the difference between getting cut and released. That's Kels with the intel on it right there.
Waived and released.
Waived or released there. Let me get it right. But thank you for explaining that to us so that way everybody knows. If you got questions about injuries, lineups, or whatever for our game tomorrow, this is the pregame show. Make sure you get those questions in. Say hello. Let us know in the comments how you're doing today. We appreciate everybody tapping in. Bob, how's the weather down there in Colorado today, man?
Oh, so funny you should ask. Yep, not a damn snow in sight. It has been on record. This is the longest Denver, Colorado has ever been without snow in November. So I have no freaking idea what's going on right now. I know for a fact, though, it's just going to shorten. It's not like it's not going to make winter longer. It's just going to be a shorter winter, which I'm cool with. But it's starting to feel real nice. It's football weather. And today is day one of my 10-day PTO. So I am not doing nothing for the whole entire week next week other than watching football, eating food, doing what I got to do to relax.
Going to the gym and going to get your protein bowls and all that stuff.
You know it.
Yeah, Kels, how's the weather been out there in DC?
Well, it's 51. I really haven't been like outside. I'm still kind of like in quarantine mode. You know, from the little health issue that I had a few weeks ago. So I've been not going out that much. But I'm gonna be out for a little bit tomorrow, and then I'm coming straight back home. But yeah, it's 50. It was 51. I went out for a minute to take the dog out. So it's you know, it's not it's not as breezy as it has been for the past week or so. So it's a nice 51 outside.
Well, you know, we had our head coach in the media yesterday, and he was asked about Saquon Barkley because, like we said, 122 yards between Barkley and Hurts in that first game and 3 rushing touchdowns. He was asked about facing him again coming up at home, and let's listen into what he had to say when it comes to video or statistics.
Tommy Orris, DallasCowboys.com. Saquon hasn't had the numbers per se that he's had to this point last year, but what have you seen from him this year? How you kind of protect against, like, okay, maybe I have the numbers, but he's still a really good player.
Yeah, you guys get caught up in the numbers way more than I do. I'm a video guy, man. I just turn on the film, and when I watch Saquon Barkley run, whether it goes for 1 yard or 30 yards, I'm holding on. I'm like, oh man, because he's just that talented. And so, again, they've had a lot of moving parts on their offensive line. That's part of it. But, you know, I mean, look at what the guy did last year. You know, he's just a fantastic football player, and we have to do a good job of owning the line of scrimmage and kind of, you know, not giving him space to run. We did a great job of that last week, but can we do it again? You know, everything that we're talking about is the consistency. We know we have to stack wins. We know we have to play well. We understand that. But if we go and we play and we execute at the level we did last week, I think that will, you know, lend well for us having a chance to win this game in the fourth quarter.
Ooh, he says a key piece of information there. Winning in the fourth quarter. Kales. I think there's some injuries on this offensive line for the Eagles. Isn't Lane Johnson? I've been hearing he's out this week, tomorrow versus the Cowboys.
Yeah, Lane is out for 4 to 6 weeks.
Sorry to hear that.
Hold on, let me pull the practice.
Yeah, I mean, that's big, right, Bob? I mean, Lane Johnson, that left tackle, being out for Jalen Hurts, especially now with Quinnen Williams. Also, Diggy Zua, Kenny Clark in the front. Them boys licking their chops, man. I think they're going to start getting to Saquon before he gets out of the backfield.
And let me say, too, before we push any further, you know, to me, coach press conferences are garbage, as are most player, because there's always a canned response. It's very rare that a coach is ever going to say anything bad about another player or another team. They're never going to say anything averse to anything. They're always going to follow a very smart script. But having said all that, I absolutely love how our coach handles these press conferences. It seems like this guy's been a head coach for like 30 years. It doesn't feel like he's new to any of this. And again, that automatically send an alarm bell off for me, because that makes me worry. Like, who is he a puppet for? But he just knows what he's saying. He's so chill, and the players seem to love him, man. Y'all got to admit, that's just not something we've seen in a long time. When was the last time you saw McCarthy hug a player? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just good to see, man. Our coach is just a good dude.
He's different. He's definitely different. But a lot of trends I've been seeing, a lot of comments, Kales, and I want to throw this at you to see if your intel knows anything about this. But a lot of people are saying, well, they're media trained. Does the Cowboys have folks training players how to deal with media and things like that? Or is that just kind of a PR thing with players and their team?
I don't think
any intels on that?
I don't think it's media trained. I just think it's just like me. You just know which people to pull. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And like Eric said too, he's been around head coaches and his dad for years and years and years. So he does have a rapport for that specifically. But that, and again, he just hasn't been up front in a coach position. But like I was just saying, it's normally boring and canned answers. But I feel like at any given time, he's going to say something smart ass, and that's what I kind of like about our coach. He has this look in his eye, like he wants to tell you something funny, but he's got to be serious about it.
Well, there was news that came out about GP and CD at the Red Rock Casino, and CD was yakking or something like that. Yep. And, they kind of brushed it on to GP. Let's listen into what he had to say. Plus, any contract extension talks. Let's listen in.
If the franchise tag comes in March, would you sign it right away or would you wait?
Like I said, I can only really stay in contact with the guys. I kind of leave that type of stuff to my agent.
But then you have to make a decision. If
the
tag comes, would you do that or would you wait for negotiations?
I'll have to wait and probably until that comes. So I can't really see in the future. So I have to wait till they get here.
How difficult was it to stand there and watch a game start without you?
I mean, they went 3 and out. It definitely wasn't nice. Me and CD definitely want to be out there. But I feel like I said, the defense and how we responded was kind of tremendous to really watch.
He said he wanted him and CD to be out there. I don't know, Kels, how true is that about CD yakking on the side of the Red Rock Casino? Because he said that's straight up disrespectful. He can hold his liquor.
But the thing is, you really can't consume no alcohol, especially when you play. And if because they do test before they get on the plane, and they test before game time. So if there is any strains of substance abuse or alcohol in their system, then they're shut down for the entire game. The only thing that happened that I can only say is that they just missed curfew.
Yeah, it just sounds like they may have missed curfew, overslept, missed the bus. Somebody tried to throw in, CD was jacking on the side of the Red Rock Casino, because I've been to Red Rock. It's a really nice casino way off the strip. And I was wondering, is that where the Cowboys stayed at? Was it the Red Rock? Because I was asking. I know you always know when they're at, where they're at in D.C.
They normally have to stay within a 15-mile radius of the stadium where they play. Like when they come to DC, where they stay at, where they have been staying at for the past 3 to 4 years, is within the 15-mile radius, and it's easy to get to the hotel, from the airport to the hotel to the stadium back to the airport. So it's within the 15-mile radius.
And we're neglecting. We're forgetting the fact that these guys stayed out all night long and still put up like 200 plus yards.
Hey man,
right.
as a 23-year Navy veteran, retired, bro. There's many days I got up drunk and went to work, and I'm not advocating to say that's okay, but I was getting Michael Irvin vibes if that was the case, because Michael Irvin probably the main reason why a lot of this is set up the way it is. But on the other hand,
hold on for a minute, Vondell, they do not stay in Arlington, Virginia no more.
Yeah, no, Kels knows exactly where they're at on the East Coast for sure. But speaking of CD, he's touching on Dak Prescott. Kels is getting ready to break another Tony Romo record. Let's listen into what CD had to say about Dak deserve it.
Because you guys try to climb into a situation where you increase your playoff odds, you're going up against a gauntlet over the next several days and for the remainder of the season. A lot of players talk about Shotty trying to keep you guys focused on having a 0-0 record to start each week. Just talk about the importance of that.
I mean, it's very important. Technically, we could treat this as if we're in the playoffs, if you want to think of it that way. Win or go home. I feel like that's the situation that we're in, and I feel like that's the right mindset that we got to have going into every game. So as far as this little gauntlet, I'm excited for it. Should be fun, and I feel like we're gonna do just fine.
You've learned obviously a ton about the history of this franchise. Dak needs just 160 more yards to become the all-time leading passer. How do you wrap your mind around that achievement?
Dak deserves it, man. He's done a lot of things for this franchise, for this organization, and I mean he's the epitome of a leader in a dynasty, essentially. So as for Dak, I mean he's gonna get that.
Bob, how are you feeling about Dak Prescott about to becoming the all-time passing leader for the Dallas Cowboys, passing up Tony Romo, them Romo Sapiens. They big mad, especially them Dak haters right now.
Yeah, I think I have him getting at least 2 touchdowns in this game tomorrow, with Javonte getting the other one, and Aubrey getting a field goal for us to beat them by 3. So I think honestly, man, Dak is going to play a good game tomorrow. Dak is, and again, let's forget all these records about home NFC East. Although that applies, the real thing is that Dak just doesn't make mistakes in multiple games. We've seen that again. We've seen that when he screws up the next game, he makes up for that. And he's just getting better and better, man. And I really think this is a proving year for him. So I'm expecting him to be the offensive MVP tomorrow, if I'm being honest, man. Quinnen Williams being the defensive MVP. I just don't know. I don't know how it's going to play out, but I do know he's going to get that at least 160 to pass up Romo, which is amazing. Crazy
160. First, you think he gets it by the first half, Kales? You think he could put up 160 yards on this Eagles defense, especially? I know the Cowboy fans going to be loud and proud tomorrow at AT&T Stadium, because you heard what CD said. It's win or go home. And I'm getting big nervous because we got to win this.
Yeah.
I don't know about the first half. Maybe it's probably going to take the entire game for it to get, because, I mean, granted, let's be real. Like, I'm looking at the entire Eagles playbook as we speak.
How many tush pushes they got in there? Because I think with the way we got this defense set up now, we might not allow any tush pushing going on at AT&T Stadium while you're looking at that playbook. Let's see what Eric Taylor is tapping in with that green badge. Thank you, Jason Craig-Hagan, for those 3,000 stars. Throw up the X. If anybody's donating stars, we appreciate that. That's how you can support the Big Three here on the show today. Eric says, I hope we hold him only under 45 yards and hold Jalen to 25-yard rush. Ooh, that's only 70 yards. We held him to 122 in the first one. As long as we can shut down the run like before and make Jalen make bad passes, that result in turnovers, we can win. A.J. Brown will lose his shit. If we can force Jalen to make bad decisions and he can get the ball. I like the recipe, Kels. This new defensive front seems like we're going to get some pressure on Jalen, and which can free up the secondary, because now with Malik Hooker back there, it seems like things have kind of got adjusted, especially with Big Q up in the front. It seems like he's been the linchpin to get everybody aligned.
I'm not scared of that defensive back. Their defensive backs are not killer out there, and that's not the strength of their defense.
They signed a new defensive back. Didn't they just let somebody go, or somebody quit due to mental health or something like that? Jair Alexander.
Oh yeah, he did. They did get Jair Alexander. Yeah, he's he's a little.
And they got Jalen Phillips, but Cam Jurgens, their center, he went from being, he's somewhat out of concussion protocol, so he's going to be a game time decision, even though he had a full practice on yesterday, but he's listed as questionable.
Yeah. Well, we're about almost halfway into the show, and it's about that time we start offering up our 3 keys to victory. I believe all 3 of us have the Cowboys winning. I think Kels initially had us losing. I had us winning. Bob had us winning on our initial projections for the year, and you can always change up. There's nothing wrong with that, especially now after these changes. We'll get into our predictions here shortly.
We got that tie.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question for everybody that's happening here today, because there's still like a chance. We still got a chance, right? Like a 10% chance. Like if the Cowboys were to beat the Eagles tomorrow, right? And we've already beat Washington and New York, and we go on and we play Washington and New York at the end of the season and beat them. Does that secure the division for the Dallas Cowboys, or how does that work out with the tie and all of the NFC rankings?
I feel they got to lose some NFC East games in order for that to matter.
So if we beat them and then they beat all the other NFC East teams, the Giants, and we have the same record, how does that work? We're gonna be out because of the tie, or because I see some more crazy shit coming down. Y'all know it comes every year. We need this team to do this team to do that. For us to make the playoffs.
I think the math is so bad for us right now. The math is so bad for us right now that we have to win just to get even with the math for us. So, we'd be looking at, we got to make sure that Green Bay loses or something like that. Like all that kind of stuff we have to worry about. That's really not in our reach right now until we start winning some games, because we're not even going to be in that conversation until we won at least 3 of those games.
Okay.
And it happens to be one of those games in the NFC East. So, yeah, we've got to win those 3 NFC East, and somewhere along the way, Philly's got to lose in NFC East, which I don't see that happening. I mean, I guess it could, but that's a tough thing. That's a tough thing for them because it's going to be either the Giants or Washington they got to lose to.
Yeah, well, it's a crazy season. I mean, the Giants took the Packers to 20-27 game here.
That's true.
It's really a crazy week. I mean,
Weird.
The Houston Texans just beat Buffalo. I mean, it's been a wild season. Kels, what you got?
So this is what we need to happen. As far as it pertaining to what it's going to look like, we have to run the table. But right now for week 12, if the season was to end, we need the Steelers. That's what I'm saying. It's not all NFC East. We got a couple of AFC East things for us to do something, because a lot of it is going to be on strength and schedule, the strength of the schedule. So we need hold on, let me get it right. We need Pittsburgh over Chicago. We need the Vikings over Green Bay. We need LA over Tampa Bay. We need New York over the Lions. We need
shit.
We need and this is where it's going to fall down. This is where it's going to fall down. We need Tennessee over Seattle. Like that's going to happen. And we need Carolina over San Francisco.
Well, like Sarah says, who cares about the math? Let's just win one week at a time. I'm right there too, but Sarah, we're statistically still not out.
Yeah,
no, you're right. There's a chance.
I understand, Sarah, how you feel. However, but the math is mathing right now, and the math is winning. So
yeah, and listen again. Let's all just pretend like we don't have a chance anymore. This is still putting us in a great position for an amazing.
Low expectations. It's not our year. Something. We're like trying to hold on week to week now. Like this season is kind of being. And with that being said, I'll get into my key to the Cowboys winning now with this defense. Like we said, game one, beginning of the season, 122 yards, 60 for Saquon, 62 for Jalen, 3 touchdowns on the ground between them each. Now I got the Cowboys winning this game 30-28. I think it's gonna be a close one. I think Brandon Aubrey kicks a 70-yard field goal. I think it's drama. I think it keeps the Cowboys alive. It sounds good. Sounds like it's good for ratings. But I think they only get 2 touchdowns, and I think we can hold them both to under 100 yards. That's my call out right there for the Cowboys to win. They've got to hold both Jalen and Saquon to under 100 yards total and no more than 2 rushing touchdowns, because with 30-28, somebody going to get some touchdowns. They're going to be a tush push in there too. But I don't know, because the way this defense is set up now, I think we might put a stop to all that shit tomorrow at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, it could be a little too late, man. I'd like to prepare some folks for believing that, because if this whole defense turnaround thing happened about 3 weeks ago, then we wouldn't really probably have too much to worry about, because we probably would be set up for success in some way. But we lost some games that were bad, really bad too. If we had a committee that had to push us into a postseason just how good we played, like in college, we'd be screwed.
Dang,
but we're forming up.
They fined George Pickens $26,085
for what?
For jumping on the goalpost.
Oh, when he jumped on it.
And the reason why is high because this is his
his
second unsportsmanlike. They need to do something with.
Yeah, it's the no fun league, But I don't think GP's tripping, because I think old Jerry is gonna cover it, because if you haven't been paying attention, George Pickens, partner, with the Cowboys and the Billionaire Boys Club, owned by Pharrell Williams, got their product line hitting the pro shops tomorrow. He ain't tripping. This is why I think we keeping GP, because anytime you start inserting Cowboys into marketing plans with merchandise and things like that, I think they think that all the way through. But wanted to make that quick announcement, because that $25,000 that you talking about, Kels, I think old Jerry probably gonna pay that. But that sounds like a typical no fun league. Yeah, let's just find the Cowboys.
Even if that wasn't the case, like I just out of all the games that I've been watching this season, when it comes to the celebration, the league has they have to, they're it's okay to be petty, because I'm petty, but this is stupid petty.
Yeah.
When it comes, when they celebrate and all that other.
Because didn't a couple other players do that? Did they find those? I think I've seen that's been like 2 or 3 players have jumped on the goalpost recently.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I wonder if they find those players. But anyway,
if you're going to get fined, I think this will be the game to get fined because the kettle will be out.
Oh, is that right? Maybe a little Javante in the kettle, Bob?
Yeah.
Because that's considered excessive whatever it's called, because they're using a prop, and whatever that fine is, it goes to the Salvation Army. So this will be the game to rack up on fines. But the referee for this game will be Bill
Vinovich.
Yeah, Vinovich. Yeah, there we go. And I'm gonna call this game. This is the welcome to the Rude to the Bruz game, because you have our defensive end Donovan Ezaraku, who's a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. He is going to knock Jalen Hurts, who is also a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, head off his swivel. So yeah, that's the name of the game. And speaking of, when Jalen Pickens was talking about his agent and everything, y'all thought Dave Mulligetta is something.
Mm-hmm.
Quinion Williams' agent is the one. Jerry don't want that smoke. He is signed with Clutch. And
so there's another agent for a Cowboy that's worse than David Mulligetta. Is that what you're saying, Kels?
Yes, it is.
Oh man, Jerry got that work cut out for him this offseason.
He is signed to Clutch, and his agent is none other than Nicole Lynn, who happens to be the same agent as Jalen Hurts. Oh, Jerry don't want that smoke.
Oh, plots getting kind of thick over here, Bob, with the contracts and all that going on. I mean, I'm surprised. Yep. I know your brother's a big Steelers fan, and he had a lot to say. What's he currently saying now about George Pickens?
Eric B. Charlotte Jones is not the CEO of Salvation Army. I don't know where you get that.
No, she's the CEO and brand officer for the Cowboys that partners with the Salvation Army. She's the one that sets all that up. But Bob, what's your brother saying right about now about that Steelers trade with Pickens coming? Because I've been waiting. A lot of folks been saying he's gonna crash out. He's gonna crash out. He's gonna crash out.
It's funny. I didn't get to ask him that yesterday. He just him and Bo Scaife of the Tennessee Titans just opened All Pro Cannabis down here in Denver, and I went the opening. I went to the opening yesterday. I didn't get a chance to talk to him about that. I did get to talk to Bo Scaife, who was at UT during the time I was in Austin. But my brother said the last time he's going to do that for you. He's going to give you some good plays, but eventually he's going to crash out. Eventually he's going to cost you a lot of money. And I'm thinking, he might just cost himself a little bit of money. But if he gets a fine and we still get a 167-yard 2-game touchdown game out of him every time, I'm cool with that.
But here's the thing: what a lot of people don't know. He is now with an organization that loves him.
Right.
And he needed a first start. And there's nothing against Pittsburgh. I don't know what's going on in Pittsburgh, but he was in a system that wasn't serviceable to him.
Yeah. So, and he obviously clearly wasn't happy, and you don't have to say anything. You can look at a person's behavior. You can clearly tell his behavior is night and day from Pittsburgh to Dallas.
Yeah. And then if you've watched, since he's been with us, if you have watched his interviews and everything, he has been very cautious about the things he has said, because he hasn't been committal and everything, because we don't know what's going to happen. But since he's been in the Cowboys organization, he loves where he's at. He's formed relationships and everything, not only within the Cowboys organization, but the community as well. So now you could hear him saying, I want to stay here. I'm learning a lot of things being in this new environment. So you see his language has changed a lot from the time he got here till present day. But
yeah, for sure. But he's also one of those guys like Des Bryant who is very boisterous on the field. He doesn't seem to be that way off the field, if I'm being honest. But when he's on the field, he's motivated. He's a little nutty. He's a little wacky, and he
kind of brings that playmaker vibe, bro. That's what I get, like that.
The vibe, and not only that, the energy of fun and happy. You know, we haven't seen him on a bad day yet, which I think will really tell the whole story. But on his good days, he's amazing, man. And again, to see Shoddy be able to walk up and like hug them both after the scores and stuff like that, knowing that everybody knew that they were not started that day, it just kind of shows that that sort of appreciation they have for each other. And like Kel said, she's right. I think he's in a place right now where the team genuinely loves him. They're like, holy shit, look what you can do. You're doing great for us. This is an amazing thing that you're doing by helping us win games. How the hell are we not going to embrace you? And again, I think he's probably good in the locker room. Also, he likes making money. And what other team can you play for that's going to make you so much money outside of the Cowboys, man? Come on.
And
this is the way to do it.
And he's one of the last ones to leave the Star.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Those kind of guys like that, they stay there a long time.
Yeah, Eric Beach tapping in, and I think this is a great one for our predictions here, as I need to get both of y'all's keys to the victory, so if you could cue those up along with your predictions before we get out here. Eric says, who will go into the red bucket or the red kettle? GPCD, make your predictions in the comments. I'm predicting Dak Prescott is going to get a tush push and run and get in the red kettle. I think we're going to put it in the Eagles' face. I'm just calling it out. Y'all can go ahead and call out whatever y'all like to call out too as well.
I'm saying Javonte will get the kettle call this year.
Kettle call for Javonte. Kels, who you got? Anybody?
You know
what? We're gonna throw Matt Eberflus in there with his defense.
No, and y'all going to give me the strange face. I have a feeling someone from the Eagles is going to be the one to do it.
Ooh, I don't doubt that type of stuff. That seems like their behavior. We got any Eagle fans tapping in? Let us know down there below who you would pick if it was an Eagle fan to jump in, because we know y'all love the Cowboys. Y'all follow.
It's going to be someone from the Eagles. I don't want it to be. I really think Ferg might be the one, but I don't think they're going to be utilizing Ferg a lot, because from some of the pictures in the video that I have been seeing, and from their practice that I could not post, it looked like they're going to be using Hunter Lemke and Brevin Spanford in that tight end position a lot, because their bodies are bigger than Jake Ferguson's. And I don't think, and the thing is, I think Jake is going to get some action in, because when you look at the way that the Eagles have been playing, especially on their second level and their DBs, the middle has been wide open a lot. And that's where Jake Ferguson really gets into his groove. So I don't think Turpin is going to get a lot of issues, because I don't know what is going on with that with our secondary, but it's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know.
Maybe CD and GP both jump in there. Maybe one of them scores. Both jump in. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it, but I have a feeling that it's going to be someone from the Eagles that's going to do it. But as far as the Cowboys, it could be Pickens. It could be Pickens.
Now that you say it, now I'm thinking about it, man. Which Eagle? Let us know down in the comments below as we get to these. It's gonna get stuck in my head. Thanks a lot, now, Kel. But let's get to these keys to victory. My key to victory was, can we hold? Yes, my call out is we're gonna hold both Saquon and Jalen combined under 50 rushing yards at only 2 touchdowns last game. First game of the season, they had 122 yards and 3 tutties. Bob, what's your key to the Cowboys' victory tomorrow?
Honestly, again, I'm going to say it. I've been saying it for many games, man. The key is number 4 right here.
Hey.
Prescott, man. Prescott's going to be the guy to do what needs to happen tomorrow. Obviously, if Pickens and CD does well, that also means that Dak did well. If it turns out by some stretch of the imagination, Javonte gets 170 yards tomorrow, then we can say he took that game over. But otherwise, the offense is going to be led by none other than our man, Dak Prescott. And I think he's going to be the one to, at the very least, orchestrate how this win is going to happen. And Aubrey's going to come in and seal it for us with a kick.
Man, imagine that. Dak leading this team to beat the Super Bowl defending champs. I just want to know, I wonder what media is going to have to say the day after, because, you know, they always say we only beat up on teams that's sorry. We don't beat nobody with no significance.
And
like,
I
what?
hate
Well,
that.
if we
Yeah,
beat,
I
if we
do
beat,
too, but
if
you know
we,
how it goes.
But the
if
thing
we
is,
beat Philly tomorrow, then we would have beat a team that was sorry. So,
but
you
the
know, it
thing
still
is,
stands.
but here's the thing. It's always when it's us. If let's say if somebody else played the Raiders, it will be nothing to say. Okay.
Yeah.
But we play the Raiders. We
Right.
beat the Raiders. Oh, y'all lost to
It's
a,
just
you
the
know, y'all
Raiders.
won to a.
It's
to
the
a
lowly
team that-
Raiders, 2 and
It
7.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Nobody can control who's on our schedule and who we play and how.
But they expect us to win and lose at the same time somehow.
Right.
Is really what it is.
I mean, pick one. Pick a struggle.
Right.
Pick a struggle.
Right.
That's my whole thing.
They move
Vondale
the
brings
goalposts
up,
no matter what.
But
Vondale bringing up some good context, Kels, when you get a chance.
This is what I hope, because from what I've been seeing, this will be the game that I will move Steele to a 2 and put Nate Thomas in as the right tackle. That's just me. I don't know, so many keys to the game, like, because I love Big Benji.
Well, let's talk about this, though. Let's talk about Jalen Carter. Is that going to be Cooper Beebe's assignment? Because Vondale's tapping in and says Steele needs to hold that side of the line. I know because Steele be giving it up. But, I mean, is it BB going to be essentially trying to hold Jalen Carter down there in the middle? Because we didn't see him the first game. And, you know, we still got our running game going. But
no, he's on the side of.
Here we go. Hoodie's tapping in and says Booker.
Yeah,
Booker
no.
No?
Jalen is more. Carter is more on the. He's on.
I thought he was a DT.
He is, but he's on the right. So he will be BB, Guyton, and Tyler Smith. Nolan, what's his last name? Brown, Nolan Smith.
Thomas?
No, he's the other one for the Eagles. He's more so on Booker and Terrence Steele's side.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
didn't Steele, it wasn't Steele the one assigned to Max Crosby when we played the Raiders?
He calls that for Max Crosby to get Dak Prescott in their first drive that caused that fumble.
Oh, okay.
Which really is not, it really wasn't a fumble. It was actually,
but that's all he did.
But it was an incomplete pass. But after that, he did contain Max Crosby.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. That dude's one of the best in the freaking league right now. So that's not something at the beginning of the game. If somebody said, you know what's going to happen today? Terrence Steele is going to lock down Max Crosby after he caused a fumble. I would never have believed that in any way, because that's just not what we get from that dude.
And the thing is, it's so many keys. Like, okay, for defense. So my key for the game for defense, if Flus could run that 5-man front in rotation like they did against the Raiders.
Yeah, because I mean they held Ashton Jeanty to 7 yards. Bob, you called that shit, Bob.
And I'm, and if he runs,
I said under 50, but not 7.
Yeah, if Flus run that exact 5-man front, I don't care if it's a 5-1 or a 5-2. Please have Jalen Hurts look like Chris Tucker from Rush Hour. Which one of y'all hit me? Please let that happen. And the thing is, do not let him run, because we're getting ready to go against again a running mobile quarterback.
Yeah, we got him. Then 4 days later, we got Patrick Mahomes, and then we got golf
And the
after
thing
that.
is, and
But
Jalen does not want to throw. Jalen does not want to
well,
throw.
Jason brings some great context for that. He says Eagles are the most blitz team in the NFL. The faster you get to Hurts, the faster he looks down. You got to have a spy. I remember Cowboy fans saying that all year. We need a spy on the quarterback, because we've been getting ran on from Timbuktu.
Demo is the spy. Demo's going to be the spy.
He is going to have to be. He's the only guy with the speed enough to do that. Not to mention, people think that. So listen, the only reason a spy is because they are covering someone anyway. It's just that their secondary job is to make sure that that quarterback doesn't break contain and go past. It's very, very hard to do that, especially if you're having to cover a running back out of the backfield and go a little deep with that guy. And then all of a sudden Jalen Hurts starts running. Then you got to go run back downfield. So the spy is not as easy as it seems in Madden for all you folks out there who think that's what's going on, man.
And before anyone asks the question, excuse me, Debo and Revel is going to be on the same snap and pitch count that they were on Monday.
Speaking of Revel, I mean, how did you see from Revel's first game? I'm hearing a lot of great things, but I want to hear from your insight. What did you see from Revel that stood out, and is that going to help us, especially against A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith?
I love it. Keep Bland in his, it doesn't say keep everybody in their natural position. Please have Bland in the slot. That is his natural position.
Yes.
Thank you for moving Kenny Clark to his actual position, his natural position, which is he's a 3, a 5, and a 0 tech. He is not a 1 tech. I don't know why Green Bay had him in a 1 tech, but he is actually a 3 tech, a 5 tech, and a 0 tech.
Damn, Cowboys are putting people where they actually belong. That's some new shit going on here.
Quinion Williams is a natural 1 tech.
Bob, how's that make you feel? The Cowboys trying to put X's with X's and O's with O's now.
You know, I was talking to Eric B earlier today, and we did a little bit of that matchup thing. Ironically, Quinton Williams is the exact same height as me and exactly 100 pounds heavier.
Wow.
That's a freaking massive dude, man. So we were doing that. We were kind of saying, all right, let's match up Jalen Hurts versus the Dallas Cowboys defense. Let's match up our defense or their defense versus it. Really, honestly, it felt like everything was much more of an even matchup than anything. I don't think they're any more dominant in one side than we are. This is really going to be one of the bigger games of the year, I think. It's got a little bit more of a weight to them than it does to us, but we've got to win this regardless, just like we have to win every other game. So the fact that these other kids are coming in off the bench after an injury, trying to prove themselves again, this is just the right time for all of this to happen, man. Yeah, we would have liked to have won 3 weeks ago, so we didn't have to have such urgency now. But for having what we're doing right now, for having what we have, it's pretty amazing. And we've got a decent depth chart now, so we can go somewhere if things start going our way. But again, next year it has to be the focus, not this year. I want to keep saying that.
and I think another key is like just listening to the two of you just now. We have to be out physical, you know, with this team. But I'm getting ready to do some adding. So give me a quick second, real quick.
And while Kels is adding Bob's, I know you got your predictions. I'm gonna need y'all's predictions for score predictions. So if you want to put your score predictions, you can down there below. We'll be live here tomorrow after the game to come back and check out who had the close. I think last week I said 33-17, and I was cheesing when they got that safety and went to 33, and we was at 16 because it was a 33-16 game. But this week, I got the Cowboys 30-28. It's going to be a nail-biter, going to be a close one, but I think Brandon Aubrey breaks that record, 70 yards of Cameron Dickers or whatever that kid's name, whoever it is, that, you know, is pretty good too. I think Brandon Aubrey gets it for the dub. Bob, what's your prediction?
I got 24-21.
That's what I have.
Yeah, 24-21. That's obviously going to be the Aubrey kick. I don't care if it's from 70 or 7, as long as it happens. And my improbable probability is that Quinton Williams will get 3 sacks. So let's see what happens. You know, that's a little bit of a crazy thing. I've said crazier things before. I also, like I said, guessed that we were going to hold Ashton Genty to under 50 yards. And like you said, somehow he only got 7, which is absolutely insane.
That's crazy.
But they
bro.
also...
Like
you
cursed both my fantasy football leagues. I mean, I had Ashton Genty in both of them. Now, when you said that, I'm like, please I wanted it to come true, but then I didn't. So I
Right.
was kind of torn. But
look, and every running back had gash dust up to that point, so you had a fair assessment of what was going to happen.
and you got Javonte jumping into Kettle. Kels said an Eagles player jumping into Kettle. She said 24-21. Kels, what's that math over there you're working on?
I'm getting ready to tell you what our defense is looking like.
Okay. You got
We
questions?
have-
Okay.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on.
If you got questions, throw them up in the comments below. If you're just tapping in, it's the Big 3 pregame show for the Cowboys Eagles tomorrow NFC East matchup. So far, keys to winning is holding Jalen and Saquon under 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bob says he believes Dak is going to command the offense and lead this team to a win. He believes that's going to be the key to the game is Dak's leadership, like versus the Eagles. And Kels, your key was.
Y'all ready for?
Just to recap here.
Run the 5-man front.
5-man front. Got you.
On defense, we have, of course, keep the penalties like you did on Monday. We had 6 penalties.
Yeah.
That's
below our average of 8 now. So we're trending right. We're trending right there.
You have to be out physical with them, and of course, like what my tagline is, do it for Marshawn. But y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Go on, spill the tea, girl.
When you look at our defense for defensive ends, and I did not add the linebackers, but I did add one because he's spying, and I'm looking at the 5-man front rotational piece for Demo as the only linebacker, along with every DT and DE that we have. We're talking about 4,013 pounds.
Ooh. That's a lot. That's a lot of beef. That's a lot of USDA up in the fridge on that front 7.
That's crazy.
And mind you, the only linebacker that I added was
Logan.
Okay, hello. And the only linebacker that I should have added Logan Wilson because
isn't he the green dot now? Was he the green dot last game?
So hold on.
Wow, look at that. They benched him in Cincinnati. He comes over here and gets the green dot out the gate.
But the thing is, a lot of people don't know why he was benched. That's what
I'm saying. I'm just saying on the surface. Obviously, there's the Cowboys winning got him for a reason. And I mean, it worked well in the first game. I'm hoping that's going to continue because that's been a problem, stacking dubs and stacking consistency in Dallas.
All right, let me add Logan Wilson. So now it's 4,258 pounds.
Man, if they can't stop Saquon and Jalen, Bob, I'm hoping some of that rubs off from the Raiders game, from stopping Ashton Jeanty. Can you imagine what folks are going to say if we hold them under 100 yards and no touchdowns? I mean, y'all got a low-scoring game, 24-21. Somebody got to get them touchdowns.
What I'm hoping for is that somehow, some way, we frustrate the hell out of Devontae and AJ. Like that needs to be sort of like goal number 1. They're not really doing very well. They're not connecting very well. It has everything to do with Jalen Hurts not being an extremely accurate passer. He's got a monster deep ball, but everything else sort of is a little tricky because, like you said, it does feel like he doesn't want to throw it. He wants to run it every friggin' time, and he's so good at that. But there's a way to get that guy off kilter and get him to make, like someone said before, make some bad decisions. And that's getting him pressure because if we pressure him, the big thing is we don't want him going up the middle when he's running. When he runs outside, we can contain him a little bit. And that means getting pressure from the middle in order to force him outside and hopefully get our linebackers to hold him back. But really, that's the only way we're going to be able to do it because if our middle linebackers are out of position and we're not getting any pressure over the middle, he is just going to run up the middle, get the first down and slide and kill us every time. Because no matter what, that tush push is legal and they're going to get it. I am 100% convinced that most of their victories are because that play is actually able to go. Even though it's a false start, it's all kinds of weird shit.
Have you noticed they have been doing the tush push they're no longer on 3-1. They've been doing it like on 4-1 and 4-2.
Yeah.
And because their offense is, their offense is I don't know what it is right now.
Well,
What?
let's hear from their leader because he was asked about facing the Cowboys and the differences in those teams. And Jalen Hurts, man, it's something about that long, awkward pause. Listen up.
And this is you played the Cowboys a long time ago. How are you? Is this team different from that game to open the season, and how are they different?
I mean, obviously the acquisitions that they've had and they've made, they've always been a really good team, very competitive team, and as a team, I think they've taken a step forward. They've got some great talent on both sides of the ball. They got great playmakers, great challenge for us. So you got to be ready to go out there and play a good game.
How about your team? How are you guys different from September 4th or whatever?
I mean, we won then, we win now. So from a macro perspective, I mean, what else?
Doesn't sound too confident there, Kales. What kind of vibe are you getting from our guy Jalen Hurts there?
I have a thing for the Bruz. I have a weakness for the Bruz. He is, like I said, he's a member of Omega Psi Phi, but that weakness is going to be null and void for 4 hours on tomorrow.
Thank you.
I could go back to loving the Bruz after the game is over with. Yeah. But I mean, granted, Howie Roseman, like I said, I don't care what the team is. I give props where props is due. Howie Roseman has been killing it when it comes to free agency trades and all that other fun stuff, even with the draft.
Ski mask Howie.
And granted, it's going to come to a point where he will be in cap space hell in the next 2 to 3
years.
Yep. Yeah, the next 2 to 3 years.
Poor little bird
as
brains.
Much as he did to get Jair Alexander and Jalen Phillips, I think that pause is for that. Even though we did something in the trade, we really needed something on offense. That's what I'm getting out of it, because they don't have no help in offense. And when it comes to Kevin Petula, and this is not a dig to him, I think that this position, he's not ready for this position.
Because there's been a lot of focus on the Eagles, man. Could you imagine? I mean, they're winning, but they're actually mad at their locker room. They're not communicating. They're getting messy in the media, and they're even pushing it up on AJ Brown. As you listen to him, they're asking him.
I can't fault AJ Brown for. I get what he's saying. He's not calling anybody out by names. He just said, as an offense, we have to do more. We have to play better. I mean, I can't fault him for what he said and everything.
No,
he's not
nobody's
calling
faulting him.
out. He ain't calling nobody out by name. He's not being disrespectful.
No, it's just the media running with this and that, just like CD yakking on the side of the Red Rock Casino. But let's listen into AJ. This is kind of awkward here too as well. Maybe not as awkward as that long pause, because that long ass pause, that shit was awkward as hell. Listen in.
Do you pay a lot of attention to what other receivers around the league do? Like what makes CD so?
Nah.
Why not?
It gets me upset. So I stay away from it. No, but I mean, it's a time and place for it. I think right now, I'm just trying to stay focused.
I just mean more from like a skill set perspective.
Oh, nah. The only person I'm really watching is Julio Jones. So.
AJ, do you pay a lot?
Julio Jones, he don't sound too enthused there. I don't know. Hopefully this locker room drama that's going on in Philly will carry over onto the field. Like we said, Lane Johnson's not going to be there. It's going to be a heavyweight. Jalen Carter is back. We got a new revamped defense. Our 3 keys to the game have been shared here. I think we got all of our predictions in. Make sure you put your predictions in the comments below.
I need Shotty to figure out that Vic Fangio cover 6, because I know he's going to be running that cover 6.
Yeah, Vic Fangio. We know Vic Fangio going to bring his game, but I think Shotty got something to prove too, as well as his team. And I think now playing for, like you said, do it for Sean, do it for Marshawn. I think the Cowboys know their why. They know the bigger picture here. And I think that sometimes, you have to have that not necessarily have a death on your team to galvanize the team to get them to face forward for the mission, but good leaders will make sure the units and those teams know their why. And I think they're playing for Marshawn now. I think we see the Cowboys come out tomorrow. I mean, hell, it could be a blowout.
And if I'm not mistaken, Dak is undefeated at home against Jalen Hurts. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Dak is 6-1 against the Eagles at home, and I believe they're 2-2 head up. So this is going to be the battle to find out who's really daddy, because Jalen been chasing his daddy Dak of the NFC East for a number of years, but now it's a head up game. 2-2. Who's going to be the leader of the zoo? We'll be tapping in tomorrow for the post-game report for sure. Bob, Kels, y'all got any important words for everybody on this Saturday before we get out here today?
No, it's football season, baby. It's a beautiful time. It's fall. It's football weather. We got after this, we got a Thanksgiving Day game. It's a stretch of some really nice days. So hopefully we kick off the nice Thanksgiving week stretch with a good victory.
Because they're now in their gauntlet, their 4-game gauntlet.
Oh, it's gonna be a quick turnaround. We got the Chiefs Thursday of next week, which, by the way, we're gonna do pregame, postgame same day, or is that what we're looking at for Thursday? I know we're looking ahead a little bit.
I don't know how that Thursday people be cooking and stuff.
I know
that's what I'm asking.
I know for a fact I won't be able to do it Wednesday night because I'm going to do a function so that I can stay home, and we're going to do dinner here. So I'm down to do it anytime during the day on Thanksgiving Day for sure.
Okay, we'll get it figured out. Because that's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, because like I said, they're in their 4 back-to-back games in 17 games. The first one was the Raiders. Then the next one is tomorrow. Then you have Thanksgiving. Then you have December 4th against the Lions. So from what I did find out from the Cowboys media team, the practice reports will be out Tuesday instead of Wednesday.
Right, because it's a short week.
Yeah, it's a short week. So so the last practice report will be on Wednesday.
So 2. Yeah, it's a quick one.
So and the practice report is going to be out at 4 p.m. my time.
Imagine that. We could knock off the Super Bowl defending champs and knock off Patty Mahomes on less than 4 in a 4-day span. Bob, what would the media world have to say about our team come this time next weekend?
They'd have to talk about us, and good old Kyle Brandt over there at GMFB would have to actually open his stupid mouth and say something nice about us. So it'd be cool, man. It'd be nice to have them make them.
I was hoping for him to put Pickens, that juke move that Pickens did as an angry runs. And I was kind of in my feelings, but I get why he did what he did, because that tight end that the Steelers got, 311 pounds, and he was murking everybody on the field.
Yeah, you could tell. You could tell when GP started running straight to the sideline. I was like, he's gonna run out of bounds, and he planted that foot, and it's a wrap. That dude is too quick, man. That dude is too quick. But all right, y'all, that's the Big 3 on a Saturday evening. It's 5 p.m. We're just over an hour. Appreciate y'all tapping in. I'm BG. That's my guy Bob. That's my girl Kels. It is the Big 3. Tune in for us tomorrow on the post-game show, and we're going to see who's going to be the king of the NFC East and who's really the daddy of the NFC East, because cue up that usher. Daddy's home. We'll see y'all tomorrow on the next episode on the post-game show.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.